Everyone, this is Tom Hammond from the tipsandyips.com, here again at Fantasy National Golf Club's home site. Today we're going to take a look at the course breakdown tab. So when you get over to the course breakdown tab, first thing you have at the top is the course. You can click change course and select any course that the tournament is being played on, and look at all the data for that course. Right at the top here, these two categories have multiple selection options. You can look at trunk slammers, cut makers, top 20, top 10, top 5, and winners historically for that at that tournament and how they played. So for example, if we look at cut makers, you can see the average strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained approach, strokes gained around the green, strokes gained putting, ball striking, and short game. And what this does is it gives you a good idea of what stat categories and strokes gained are most important for the week. So, for example, cup makers on average gain 0.71 strokes on the approach. If we change that to winners, we'll see that on average, winners gained 1.65 strokes gain off the approach. So, strokes gain approach and strokes gain putting are really crucial here, as well as ball striking. Scrolling down a little, we get more into the course itself, the whole composition by yardage and par. The approach shot distribution. So this is second shot. After the tee shot, how many yards into the hole are we looking at on average? So you can kind of see 150 to 175 and 175 to 200 are very common strokes approach shots, and we can kind of use that as a proximity category in the custom stat model. Scrolling down a little further, you have the historical cut line. So it just shows you by year what the cut line was. Kind of gives you an idea of what the scoring to par relative will be. Then here on the right, you have the scoring distribution, number of birdies, pars, bogeys, doubles, eagles, everything. So what this shows you, bogeys and birdies are pretty even, right, historically, and pars are, by and large, the favorite. So this course probably plays pretty close to around even, or it's not super low scoring winners. So maybe bogey avoidance is something we want to look at more than birdie making for this tournament. Scrolling down further, you have driving accuracy, comparing this course, this event, to the average tour event. So driving accuracy is more prominent here than it is on the average tour event. Green and regulation percentage. It's harder to hit green and regulations here than it is at the average tour event. Scrambling percentage, lower here than it is at the average tour event. Scrolling down a little further, single round scores. So this just gives you a nice little bell curve distribution of what the average scores are. Here at this tournament, obviously we have anything from 61, not very many of those. Like I said, average score being right around par, which is a par 70 course, a little over par being on average. 3 putts per round, average tour event, and here. Driving distance, average tour event, and here. So what you'll see for this tournament at the Honda, that the driving distance is way lower. So this tells you that driving distance will not be a premium for this tournament. Probably a lot of players are clubbing down, going with 3-wood or a long iron off the tee for a different strategy on this course. And then it gives you a breakdown of where players are missing. They miss left, they miss right, they don't hit the fairway very often. It's very difficult to hit the fairway here. Again, putting more of an premium on driving accuracy versus driving distance for this particular tournament. Gives you a green and regulation proximity to the hole strokes gain. So obviously here, a little less than the average tour event. And then finally, birdie or better putts made by distance. So obviously you can see this is pretty standard. The closer you are to the hole, the better chance you have of making birdie. You get outside of 20 to 25 feet, not really a great chance of making birdie. These greens have a lot of undulation, and long putts are kind of difficult to read, as well as the wind playing a factor here. So this is a tool I like to use again early in the week. Get a look at the course, see how it's playing. Then it helps you really identify which key stats that you want to use when making either a custom model or just looking at different stats trying to select a player pool. Another great tool here at Fantasy National. A lot of research, obviously, a lot of data here, just very easy to read and digest.